By the way, the amount of uncircumcised men in this country is Hi everybody, how are you doing? I hope everyone is okay. Thank you for watching, thank you for loving us, thank you for subscribing, thank you for staying with us with our pregnancy journey. And now we just did circumcision, and I want to tell you how it went. Guys, you can tell us in the comment section how your story was, how did it go, how was the healing process. But this is how it went for me. So we made an appointment at Chibuli Hospital. Those in Kampala, you know, Chibuli is known for circumcision for kids and everyone, not only kids. By the way, the amount of uncircumcised men in this country is because I saw a lot of men on that theater. I was there twice, and those 2 times the theater, the waiting room was full of grown men, literally from like 65 to early 20s. That thing was full of those men coming for circumcision, others for removing, for a checkup. There are a lot of men. So yeah, so this is how it went for me. So we made an appointment Chibuli Hospital with some doctor who works there. We paid $250,000. That's around $60, 60 something dollars. Yeah, in case anyone would want to know how much that's what I paid. And then the tube for putting on his wound was around $20,000. So around, let's say, $270,000. That's almost 80 bucks. Yeah, so we reached the theater and they're like, we have to take the baby. I'm like, I'm not going to go in, I really don't want to see what's going on. So they took the baby and I stayed out. I was hearing my child cry. I was walking around, my heart was in my stomach. And like, what's going on? It took so long and he was crying the whole process. And I'm like, you told me you're going to numb him, he's not going to feel anything, why is he crying? And the nurse was like, well, he's numbed, he's not feeling the pain, but they hold them down so that the doctor can do the job well. So then one of the nurses has to hold the legs apart as the doctor is doing what he's supposed to do. So that holding makes them uncomfortable, so they end up crying. But he cried and the process was long. But after some time, they brought him back. He was sleeping. He was sleeping. There was nothing. He was just chilling, sleep. He was just chilling, not feeling pain. But they brought him and they put a gauze inside, and outside there was a plaster. So they just opened him for you. Like, I was like, Jesus. I had to take my baby home, and they tell you not to shower him, not to do anything. I did a circumcision on Thursday morning, and they told me to go back on Sunday to remove the gauze. But when I reached home, he sussed and the plaster outside got off. So the remaining gauze, that's when I saw the real thing. It was all tied up like this with a gauze. But this is Thursday. So when it reached Friday, I noticed like it started to smell. I guess not peeing and not showering him, you just have to be wiping. So I called the doctor. I'm like, for me tomorrow I'm coming. I don't want any infections. I don't want, because it has started to smell, and really a bad smell. So I went back and they removed the gauze. Remember, this thing is now into the skin. So when they're removing the gauze, they don't numb the place. And I'm like, because I asked them, are you going to numb him? Like, you did a layer. Like, no, we are not numbing, because when we are numbing, we numb the wee-wee. And now, since it's a wound, we can't inject the wee-wee to numb it. So we are going to remove it. it's already deep in the skin, so they just pour saline water and they start unwrapping it. That boy cried. That boy cried. Then they brought him back and this whole thing was open as it can be. It was like red, pinkish. That's when I saw my baby's wee. It was all like, really, they did a good job. You could see like they did the shape and everything was perfect, but it was now all out and you didn't want to see. And I had to go now with the baby that like you have to clean it twice a day, and you put the tube. So there are stitches. They stitched him. So I came back home. Now this is the real hustle. I would wake up in the morning to shower him. I'll just use his normal bathing, whatever we use to bathe him, and then I would get cotton or gauze. I put saline water and I would wipe it. Remember, it brings white stuff as it's healing. So the process of cleaning him, he would cry. Then you put the tube. Then the next day, morning and evening. Then I noticed this is like 2 weeks going by and nothing is changing. The way was so pink. So I'm like, this is not going as planned. I was so frustrated. I would not sleep. I wasn't eating. I would sit at the dining table with my food and I would just cry. Circumcision was the most frustrating thing, mentally, physically, because remember, you're not supposed to put them in a pamper. So I bought the oversized pamper. I bought like 16 kg pamper. So during the day, I would leave him off, and at night I would lay down those pampers and put him on top of that pamper. But this was at a stage where he was starting to move his legs, and whenever he would move his legs, he would hurt the wee and bleed. So I would stay awake whenever he's sleeping or awake. I would stay awake and be holding the little legs so that he doesn't keep on doing this to hurt himself. I was going crazy with no sleep. It took 2 weeks for me to see change, to be honest. The change was there, but for me, I wasn't seeing it. So I was like, let me call the ped. We got a ped for him. So I'm like, my child got circumcision, but I'm not seeing the progress. I'm really worried. And it's like, bring him and we see. There are nurses, we can do maybe cleaning or something that is needed to be done to see what's going on. So when I went to the ped and he opened, he was like, Hajarah, you're very funny. What's wrong with this wee? And I'm like, it's so big, I'm not understanding. The stitches were there because with the stitches, when erection helps with the stitches to open them and break them. But since he was a baby, he was 2 weeks, the erection is a bit little. It's not as strong as a grown-up person. So the stitches really took longer to get off. So the ped looked at me and I'm like, your child is so white. His wee, of course, it's supposed to be pink. It's this big. He laughed at me. I'm like, it's supposed to be this color. What are you talking about? So that's when my heart, I became calm. So I came back home and started doing the same thing. To be honest, the whole process for me to feel like the baby was now good and the stitches, all of them to be off, it was like a month. Yeah, it was like a month. I don't know, you can tell me for people that did circumcision how it went for you. Some people prefer like Muslims. We have Muslim people that come and circumcise and they just leave the baby. But for me, I wanted to do it the safest way possible. So the stitches took the healing process a bit longer for them to get out, but he's okay, everything is good, he healed well. So when they brought him back after the circumcision, they prescribed medicine. This was for pain. I don't know if it could help anyone. It really helped for pain. and he was really okay. He didn't experience a lot of pain. He would cry there and here, but it wasn't so terrible. It was so terrible for me mentally, but for the baby was actually not in so much pain. It was fair. Then this was for pain, and for in case he got any bacteria, fevers and everything. So this was the combination of the medicine I got to treat him as I was still cleaning and putting the tube on his wee-wee. So the combination of this, I don't know if I still have the tube, but yeah, the combination of this and the tube and the cleaning, literally morning, evening, with the gauze and cotton, and trying to do a bubble thing when you're showering him with whatever you're using to shower him, and let him be there for a moment, because the more you make it wet, the easier it is to clean it. So make sure you put your baby a bit longer in water for the wee-wee to become so wet, so that when you're cleaning, it's a bit easier on the baby. It's when you're wiping, it just goes off easier than when it's not so wet. So yeah, if it could help anyone. After showering, when you're going to put the tube, I used saline water, you know, that drip water they give us in hospital when you're putting on the cord after giving birth. That saline water, it's what I was using. Some people prefer doing their own salt and warm water, which I was really looking into, but after circumcision and I asked the doctor, he was like, with saline, with water and salt, you really don't know the right amount you're putting. You don't know if you're putting enough salt or too much salt, so it could delay the healing process more, or you could actually hurt the healing process. So the saline water is better because the measurements are already done. If it can go into your body, then it's okay to put on a wound. So I found that soothing, and I used saline water. So I would put saline water on the gauze or cotton, whatever you're using, then you wipe after showering him, then you put the tube. Repeat until your baby feels good. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you have a story of circumcision, you can also tell us, or we're going to go live soon. If you have those questions as well, put them below. We'll go through them, write them down, and we'll be answering whenever we come on live. All right, thank you so much. Your nephew's doing well. Yeah.